Alright, so we're gonna have to do this again. My daughter called me while I was in the middle of talking to y'all. But yeah, like I said, this is Still Mills Boxing. Still Mills International, Midwest nigga, Omaha, Nebraska. Shout out to my nigga Bud. But I want to get into Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez. Like I said last night, the fight last night, he really showed his skill set, and he's just not a guy who's just gonna go in there looking to get rid of you and step on you. I respect that, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't get mad when Devin Haney couldn't get Gamboa out of there. I still think he's an incredible fighter. You know, the kid, he might even be the best at 135, but you know what I'm saying? When you can't get rid of, if you can't get rid of a guy that's on his last leg, or at least hurt him or put him in a position where he's respecting your power, he's walking you down, you know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to take chances to get, on you, to put himself back in the fight. It's kind of alarming, man. But like I said, historically, a style like Caleb Plant has been problematic for a nigga like Canelo, man. Just, Caleb Plant really showed last night how solid of a fighter fundamentally he is, you know what I'm saying? And he's fun to watch, you know what I'm saying? Lightning fast hands, really good combination puncher, real sharp counter puncher, incredible footwork, defense. He's really good jab. He's really good, man. He's really good. However, in order to deal with a cat like Canelo, power, you have to have thump and snap in your shot to get that man to really think about, you completely reset his forward motion, and you know what I'm saying, strategize on how, another way to come in and get inside your range. I didn't see that last night with Caleb Plant. Didn't see it last night. I did not see it last night whatsoever. It's not. What else are you gonna do? If is it power that because I don't see Canelo being thwarted by anything else other than power. The dude is possibly, I think personally, he's the best counter puncher in the business right now. Clearly pound for pound number one. Defense is immaculate. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too many cats defensively in the game right now that can slip 6 jabs. You know what I'm saying? And close. It's just ridiculous, man. And his footwork isn't as bad as it once was, and it's not the best. It's not on the level of a Caleb Plant. However, just with his footwork now, I think he's with his spacing, it's really weird, man. He's in a position now where he's fast enough on his feet to slip a shot and get in counter punching position and get in your chest and go to work. And we saw that, I mean, even with a cat, like when he fought Lara back, you know what I'm saying, back in 2014, like, he was able to trap Lara on the ropes and, you know what I'm saying, just tear away to the body and tear away to the body and tear away to the body and tear away to the body. So I think Lara may be a little bit more technically sound than a cat like Caleb Plant, man. And for him to be able to do that to a cat like Lara, and I think Lara won that fight, but I most definitely understand why Canelo was given the nod. How are you? What else does Caleb Plant have that Canelo hasn't seen before? That would be my main concern. And I don't think it's anything, personally, man. I mean, how the hell does a 5'8", 5'9" on a generous day out jab a 6'3" super middleweight? That's wild. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, it's alarming for a cat who's going against him. So I'm looking at Canelo and I'm like, what is Caleb Plant gonna be? Even like, at this point, it was a point in time when I thought Canelo couldn't do anything with the champs at 168 pounds, including Caleb Plant. Now I'm like, I don't see any of them beating him. I don't see it, man. I don't see David Benavidez beating Canelo. I mean, I think it'd be an incredible fight, but David Benavidez is a dude who doesn't necessarily like to use his natural abilities to his advantage. He likes to fight in the clinch. He likes to fight in the phone booth. You'll be playing right into Canelo's hand. He's bigger and he's stronger than Caleb Plant, just on physicality alone. But Canelo's a bulldog in there. It's like he belongs at 168 pounds. You know, nothing got compromised when he moved up. His speed, his power, his, you know, his upper body movement, nothing was compromised. It was like he was fighting at 160 still. How he was able to systematically break this dude down. I mean, goddamn, he broke the motherfucker's, he tore the dude's bicep. What in the fuck? So I don't see Caleb Plant beating a Canelo Alvarez, man. I don't. I'm not gonna jump out the window and say he stops him. I won't say that, man. I really do think it's a good fight, and I do give Caleb Plant a chance at winning that fight. It's just not a big chance. I mean, what I'm seeing from Canelo in this point, in this stage in his career, I'm sitting here watching this dude, and even early in the match with Callum Smith, how easily he was finding him early in the fight. We talking the first round. He's landing. He's landing. He's gauging his distance that fast in the first round on a 6'3" ass nigga. That shit, wow, man. Like, how do you? Yeah, bro. So that's my take on it, man. I just can't see I can't see Caleb Plant beating a dude like Canelo at this point in time. I was really shocked watching Canelo last month. And I was really, you know, I was not amused. I enjoyed the fight with Caleb Plant last night. You know what I'm saying? I really did. But even when, you know, when he said he caught an injury during the fight, which is, you know, it happens in boxing. You know, it happens in boxing. I get it or whatever. But, you know, I would have to ask, what round did that injury occur? Because the dude was, Truax was, and shout out to Truax, you know what I'm saying? He showed the heart of a veteran and a champion, and he's been in there with the better competition than a Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? That was, you know, Caleb Plant's biggest fight was Uzbekistan, where he won the title at, and he hasn't done shit up until that point. I mean, you know, my coach held bids for the fucking, you know, for Mike. I don't even know how to put him, Subway Mike. My coach knew him from back in Chicago. Fuck. That nigga ain't nothing, you dig? And shout out to him for putting on gloves, but it's just levels to it, man. But Truax has been in with the better fighters, with the Peter Quillins and the you know, the Danny Jacobs and things of that nature. But he just wasn't, you know, he's not a cat that's like, yo, this is gonna be a problem. I don't think nobody had, you know, reserves of whether or not Caleb Plant was gonna win the match last night or not, man. So, but my point is, he's a little bit older, and he didn't seem to respect your power from round 1 to 12, even with him getting smacked in the face. Dude got crashed last night, and he never, you know, it was forward momentum the whole fight. He came in straight down the line, no head movement. He didn't counter punch. It was nothing. He would get one shot off, and all right, cool, I landed that shot, and Caleb would answer back with 2 or 3 shots, landing flush. You dig? So, you know, he looked great last night, man. But what happens when you got a dude that's in front of you that's gonna make you pay for your misses? What happens when you got a dude who's going to counter to the body? That's why I don't see people do that on the level of Canelo. Slip a jab and, you know, counter left hook to the body. How are you gonna be able to deal with that from rounds 1 to 12? And stamina isn't seeming like it's an issue anymore with him. I mean, shit, look at how he fought Golovkin. The dude, they stood in the middle of the ring the whole, from at least their backs didn't touch the ropes till like the 10th round. And it was just a very quick, all right, cool, my back is on the rope, all right, cool, it's time to spin out of here now. He stood toe-to-toe with Golovkin. Nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that. So I just don't see how I don't see how Caleb Plant or any other champions at 35, not 35, but at 68 is going to be able to deal with Canelo, man. Even with, you know, I think Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant, historically, those styles of and approaches to the, you know, to fighting have been problematic for Canelo. But just he's improved so much since 2014 and 2013 when Floyd crashed him. It's like, do those styles give him problems to this day? Because Danny Jacobs, who was one of my favorite fighters, is a hell of a fighter. He's incredible off the back foot, and he has the length on Canelo and everything. You know, he punches in combination. and he's a really good counterpuncher. You know, really good defensive fighter. It was like nothing to him. It was nothing. It I just don't see how you're gonna beat a dude. What are you gonna do to beat this dude? You know what I'm saying? How are you gonna beat him? You know, without power. You have to make him respect you. You have to put him on his back foot. You have to think like. I just don't see it happening with Caleb Plant anymore, man. And hopefully we see the fight sometime soon. I know people are mad at, you know, oh man, he ducking this and that and the third, and you know, I mean, ain't fought Charlo and this and that and the third. I mean, I get people's grievances and everything, man, but shit, you can't fight everybody in one night. You can't. So at this moment, it's looking like Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant are in the scope. So, dude is trying to go undisputed, and I don't see anybody at this moment knocking him off of his course. I just really don't. It's just the dude is that good. You know, I personally think he's the baddest Mexican fighter to come out of Mexico. I mean, I get a lot of flack for saying that, man, but hey, man, my coaches are Mexican, you know what I'm saying? My two coaches are Mexican, and they look at me like, oh man, you crazy, man, that nigga, man, he ain't this, he ain't that, Julio Cesar Chavez, all right, cool, like, I respect it, man, but I just, you know, with this dude's skill set, I've never seen a Mexican fighter fight on this level. I don't. Just slick, you know what I'm saying? He's a contradiction to the typical, you know, the prototypical Mexican style fighting, where it's just come forward, really good head movement to get in the inside, and then just rip. He can fight on the front or the back foot. He prefers on the back foot, about mid-distance. That's where he's at. That's when he's in his bag. But he's also a phenomenal front foot fighter as well when it's time to cut, you know, close the distance and get in and get good work in, man. So I think he's the dopest to come up out of Mexico. I'm gonna get killed for saying this, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. But that's my thoughts on Canelo and Caleb Plant. I don't think Caleb Plant has. I don't want to just throw dude out the window and say he don't got the answers, but I feel like he don't got the answers. Stylistically, he does, but even within that style, you know, is he don't got the answers. He doesn't. So that's my take on it. Peace.